Legal dictation number 11, speed 100 words per minute. Start. It is thus to be seen that, irrespective of the applicability of clauses A to G, section 2 to 3 gives to the magistrate a discretion to amalgamate cases. The magistrate has to be satisfied that persons would not be prejudicially affected, that it is expedient to amalgamate cases, as has been set out herein above. On a prior occasion, the application for amalgamation has been rejected by the special judge. The High Court has also rejected the appeal. Under these circumstances, a fresh application for the same relief would not normally lie. Faced with this situation, it had been submitted that the present application for amalgamation had been made, as the High Court had already held that there was a single conspiracy and had given liberty to apply for amalgamation at a later stage. It is thus necessary to see that what the High Court held in the case of Lalu Prasad versus State of Bihar, paragraph 28 to 32, read as above follows: the fact that separate cases have been registered and are being investigated separately, and also the fact that this court, during investigation, while considering the question as to whether remand in one case will mean the remand in all other cases, has held that some of the cases from different transactions are not decisive to the question involved in the case. This court made observations during the course of investigation while deciding the question of remand only. The separate investigation by itself is not decisive of the fact that all the cases are separate. The question then requires to be considered whether and to what extent the trial which follows such investigation is vitiated. Now, trial follows cognizance, and cognizance is preceded by investigation. This is undoubtedly the basic scheme of the code in respect of cognizable cases, but it does not necessarily follow that an invalid investigation nullifies the cognizance of trial based thereon. Here we are not concerned with the effect of the breach of a mandatory provision regulating the competence or procedure of the court as regards cognizance or trial. It is only with reference to such a breach that the question as to whether it constitutes an illegality vitiating the proceedings or a mere irregularity arises. A defect or illegality in investigation, however serious, has no direct bearing on the competence or the procedure relating to cognizance or trial. No doubt, a police report which results from an investigation is provided in section 190 CPC as the material on which cognizance is taken. But it cannot be maintained that a valid and legal police report is the foundation of the jurisdiction of the court to take cognizance. Section 190 CPC is one out of a group of serious sections under the heading Conditions Requisite for Initiation of Proceedings. The language of this section is marked in contrast with that of the other sections of the group under the same heading. These later sections regulate the competence of the court and bar its jurisdiction in certain cases excepting in compliance therewith. But Section 190 does not. While no doubt in one sense clauses A, B and C of Section 190 are conditions requisite for taking of cognizance, it is not possible to say that cognizance on an invalid police report is prohibited and is therefore a nullity.